Ladies and gentlemen and distinguished guests, my name is Joe Coll and I am delighted to have been invited here today to speak to you all about Lev Vygotsky and how his work and theories can be applicable to our work as teachers, particularly to us who teach in practical departments. So, imagine it is your first day of secondary school and you've just stepped into the woodwork room for the very first time. The classroom teacher hands you a chisel and instructs you to remove a trench from a piece of timber. You have never held a chisel before, let alone have the correct technique necessary to remove the trench. You're thinking to yourself, I can't do this. I will never be able to complete this task. Lev Vygotsky's opinion on this situation would be that the task assigned to you is within your zone of proximal development and that you can complete the task in hand, but with the necessary help and guidance. Lev Vygotsky was a cognitive theorist who developed the concept of the zone of proximal development. What exactly is the zone of proximal development, you ask? Well, in the words of MacLeod, the zone of proximal development is the difference between what a learner can do without help and what he or she cannot do. So, in other words, it is what a person can perform with assistance but cannot yet perform independently. As teachers, it is our role to guide the students with the tasks that are within their zone of proximal development and provide them with the necessary aids and assistance to help them complete the task in hand. It is important that we provide the students with tasks that are just beyond the reach of their current abilities, but that are not too difficult as to entice frustration or too easy as to lead to boredom or a lack of motivation. By providing our students with tasks that are just beyond their current abilities, we promote critical thinking and further advance the child's learning experience. As practical subject teachers, there is an onus on us to provide our students with tasks that are within their zone of proximal development, as unlike in a maths class where too difficult a task may lead to frustration or a lack of work ethic, in the woodwork room this can result in injury to the child. It is also important to remember that not all students learn the same, so there will be varying zones of proximal development within the classroom population, and we must cater for this. Hand in hand with Vygotsky's zone of proximal development goes his concept of scaffolding. Scaffolding is a process where a teacher or a more competent peer guides and assists a pupil as he or she proceeds to complete a task that is within his or her zone of proximal development. Just like the scaffold on a building site, this assistance is only temporary and necessary. It is gradually removed until the learner is capable of completing the task independently, thus moving it out of their zone of proximal development. Much like when the training wheels are being removed from a bicycle, the child is now capable of cycling without the aids and has no dependency on them anymore. So, now imagine yourself back in the woodwork room again. The classroom teacher begins by showing you how to correctly hold the chisel before demonstrating the stages necessary to effectively and safely remove the trench. He provides support and guidance, and he pairs you with one of the more competent students until you are comfortable to proceed independently before allowing you to work on your own. As the supports are gradually being removed, you begin to feel a real sense of achievement and tell yourself, I can do this task. So, by finishing, I would like to leave you with a quote from Vygotsky himself. What a child can do today with assistance, she will be able to do by herself tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you all for listening to me, and I hope that my talk has provided you with an insight into Lev Vygotsky's theories and how they can be applied to our work as practical subject teachers. Gur míle maith agaibh.